Hey, hi everybody. Good evening, good evening. This is Spirit Journey. How you all doing? Yes, today is July 26th, 2022, and the time is now 7:34 p.m. Yes, what a day I had, what a day. I'm actually a little tired. I did some walking today. I walked a lot. I did my initial walk with my dogs at the park. And then I had some places to go. I'm trying to um, clear out my room, getting out stuff that I know I don't want, and sending it to the Salvation Army. Yes, they do not do pickups anymore because of the virus thing. So so I'm getting my exercise, and I have a shopping cart, and I just took about 5 trips back and forth, and my legs feel it. I need the exercise. I'm getting a little tummy. Oh God. Ladies, you ever get those? Oh God, I gotta get rid of it. I've always been a little self-conscious about my tummy. Yeah. Always had like a little pouch. But I hope I can get rid of it. But anyhow, let's see. I want to talk about DNA. Well, one thing, an update. Um, I'm going to be doing the African African DNA, something like that. African heritage DNA, something like that. Yeah, and the kid's supposed to come tomorrow evening. I can't wait. I'm really curious. My curiosity. I mean, um, I didn't want to do it for a long time, that particular company. Um, but as I mentioned a couple of days ago, I was really um, excited for this lady that did it. She just sold me on doing it. But yeah, I mean, for someone to be able to tell you um, what matriarchal, line, your mother's line, the DNA is pretty constant for generations, but to be able to know definitively what tribe, it's a little, I don't know, because anyone could have, I mean, your mitochondrial DNA maybe, might have spread, and where those matches are, I'm wondering how specific, because anyone could be, it could be found in different places. People migrate. But either way, I decided to take the plunge, and it would be interesting if if it pops up to one of the countries where you can get dual citizenship. That would really be interesting. So my curiosity, and with that, and if I'm going to leave the states, I like to have a backup. If the place you want to go to doesn't, you're not interested, you want to change, well, you got another place to go to. That's my reasoning. I said, hey, let me just try it. You never know. These days, you have to be really proactive about things, and if something could work for you. And plus, my interest in my African heritage is very keen at this time. But yeah, I'm just very curious, and some of the places, like many of you know that I do meditation in the morning. That's a special type of meditation upon awakening from sleep in the morning. That's when I usually get to see different visions. And my latest one that I mentioned the other day, it was outdoors, and I saw like a wall. It was like very like a natural material, like a stone. It was like black with white mixed in with it. Very, um, infused together, the two different colors, very rough texture. And you could see part of the wall in the corner. There was a sharp edge, and then you saw like a little kitty cat there, and the ground was very pale, looked like a natural ground, not something that's like cement or anything like that. Look kind of pale and dusty like. So I think that I'm having visions of African locations. I mean, who knows? And my feel for it was a type of structure. I'm just thinking it might be North Africa. I mean, I know that's a kind of a stretch, but North Africa has a lot of these stray cats. The cat that I saw was a tiny, tiny cat. And it seems like North Africa, they're into cats. They think cats are sacred. And it was just a thought, like the ground, it's, I guess because the ground was not paved and looked kind of like a natural flooring. I just saw part of the floor. I'm just speculating that, hey, when is this is some part of Africa. Um, yeah, it was just really interesting to me. So yes, hello viewer, good morning. Oh, no, good evening. I hope your day is going well. Yeah. So it would really be interesting where these places are. Um, yes, I get to see like wildlife. Yeah, I was meaning to check. I want to check on online for the these birds that I saw. Yes, sometimes during my vision I see other animals. I've been seeing birds. This is the first time I saw a little kitty cat. Yeah, it had this like the cheek. It came like in a point, like two like a V. Like they cut the kitty cat's hair on the side of his face like in a V shape. And it was a pale color. It had like dark darker streaks in it, and it was staring at me in my direction, I should say. And it was daylight. So I'm just saying, speculating that yeah, it looked very bright daytime, and so let's just say that it's something that was like a live scene, like something that's actually going on at the time that I'm seeing. Then it's somewhere. It could be somewhere, you know, that part of the world because when I woke up, it was pitch black outside. So where it's daytime, definitely that part of the world, you know. So I'm just really, my curiosity is getting the best of me. And I would love to find out where these places are. And it just goes to show you that the power of the mind, the power of just relaxing, and your consciousness is in another location. I mean, I don't know exactly how it works, but I did tell you guys, it was about week or 2 weeks ago, the African guy that I saw, and well, I assume he's he looks like an African, and he was watching something, and I appeared, and my consciousness was in the room, and I'm just thinking like a TV set, you know. I mean, like me watching a TV, and I'm not thinking anyone's going to see me, and nor do I know this person, nor did I ask to see this person. It's just what I was sent to or whatever. And he looked up and he saw me and he took a spear and he tried to stab me with it. Yeah, he was pissed. Yeah, he didn't have a top on, but he had these necklaces, several about 4 or 5 necklaces. One of them I remember was it looked like leaves, like he took in Hawaii they have these leis, the one made out of tea leaves. reminded me something like that. They were thin leaves that were coming out from it, you know. Yeah, he was pissed, and he had his spear, and he's poking me, trying to poke me. So I opened up my eyes real quick, like, oh, whoa, what's going on here? And I closed them back. But evidently, my essence or whatever is still at that place because when I close my eyes again, he's still poking. Yeah, I kid you not, this is really. It seems like the more I do this meditation in the morning, the more type of things that I see. And it's really interesting that sometimes, like, I don't know how to like navigate, like, let's say my consciousness appears at a place, how to like navigate, how to like turn your head or something, you know, to be able to see what you want to see. So you be able to see things in its context. That's what I want to learn how to do. That's what I want to learn how to do. So yeah, I'm really eager about my heritage. But you know, um, what I'm also learning is that, see, it's not the vehicle that's of any real importance. The vehicle only allows you to navigate on this 3D world. It is the spirit that is really of the essence, you know, is that like a car. The car is a tool. My body is just the tool to navigate here. So part of me is, you know, have to remind myself that we are not our birthday suit, but it does allow us to navigate in this world. What I'm seeing, or it seems to be suggested that when I do my meditations in the morning, that it's that what could be happening, I could be, um, it could be a parallel world that I'm tapping into, um, that's happening alongside this world. It could be what we call past lives. I don't think that. I don't think that, but I I I think that I'm you know my what do you call it, my higher self or whatever, my conscious is really inquisitive, and I'm looking for something. That's what I'm feeling like. My consciousness is not settled, and it's venturing out there. It's venturing, and it seems like my consciousness likes wildlife. My consciousness, I mean, the things that I've seen these birds, and sometimes it's like like a camera, and it zooms in, and it could be extremely clear, really detailed, and then other times it's very hazy. Sorry, other times it's very hazy, um, and you can't really see as much detail. But I'm fascinated with the wildlife that I've seen. I saw this really pretty bird with it had like a turquoise, a light turquoise blue neck. So if anybody wants to help me out and try to locate where this, see, I want to find out where these animals are located so that I'll be able to then find out where my mind is going to. For whatever reason, my mind, oh, it's like an echo. I hear an echo now. That's weird. Something that happens when I'm on my device, and you hear like a slight echoing back. So I don't know why it does that. Oops. So I have my computer on. Sorry. Yeah, it turned itself off. I want to leave it on. Yeah, so I want to try to pinpoint the places that I'm visiting in my meditation because it might mean something significant and I'm on a spiritual journey. So if anyone knows about these type of meditations and visiting these places, you know, let me know in the chat room. my glasses. Someone wrote something. Yeah, it's really interesting. Put this down. Okay. Let's see, new glasses. Oh, Boogie06 says the dreams you're having is the term called lucid dreaming. Okay. No, I'm not dreaming. Thank you for sharing that though. Thank you. Um, thank you, Boogie, for sharing that. No, I'm not actually dreaming. I'm meditating. I would wake up in the morning, or sometimes I was just dreaming and then I wake up and I devised this technique of meditation. So I just, lie there in bed, keep my eyes closed, and just stare straight ahead with the closed eyes, and then images appear. And I learned that, with the images, that sometimes could be seen by individuals. And how my latest one was the African guy, or I should say the African looking guy, was being entertained by something, and I'm seeing from around the ceiling, and he looks up and he got angry and tried to stab whatever he's looking at with his spear. So I know I'm not I'm not dreaming. I'm having a vision. My consciousness is in another location. It would really be interesting to know, are my oh, I was gonna say now. What is it? What is it? What is it? It's really interesting. Really, really interesting. Um, yeah, I want to find out where I'm going. When I'm having these experiences, I've been in all these different places. You know, I want to find out because it must mean something. If my consciousness is choosing these places, choosing those places for a reason. And does anyone have any suggestions why my consciousness is choosing these locations? Because I'm not familiar with these places. I've never seen these people. Nothing. Let's see. Boogie says, does it mean your third eye pineal gland is activated during meditation? Oh yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah, yeah, I believe that. But I'm saying, I'm believing that if it's not like when I'm doing the meditation, I'm not thinking, oh, let me think about such and such. I'm just winging it, I'm just relaxing, and whatever what comes. And so something is choosing these locations. Why those specific locations, I don't know. I don't know. But if anyone may have an idea why, and it's not like, see, why isn't my consciousness, why isn't it telling me where I'm going? Why is that? I know, it's just, again, mysteries out there. There are a lot of mysteries about our consciousness. And again, even though I'm expecting to get my DNA kit, the African DNA, so you know what tribe allegedly you're from, my curiosity got the best of me. I'm really eager. I mean, what could it be? I mean, my mother's mother's. Well, I know what my mitochondrial DNA is. I know what that is, and that is it's an L1 line, and um, it seems to be common in, yes, West Africa, but like uh, Gabon, that area. It's an old DNA, and I'm excited about that. I mean, I have no idea what that lineage is. But I think it's going to be something, an old location. But you never know. You never know. Um, Quincy Jones is L1, um, mitochondrial. So we have a, what was that like? What was that, 50,000 years ago? Yeah, I mean, one thing with the mitochondrial, it could be, way, way back, thousands of years ago of a genetic, a direct ancestor, Yes, I'm really looking forward to the DNA thing. So the kid's supposed to come tomorrow, and I want to do it right away, right away. Yeah. Um, yeah, so it should take like 2 months. I hope it's sooner. Yeah, I think it's going to be more sooner than later. Because I don't think a lot of people are getting the DNA done. But yeah, I can't wait till I get an answer. Yeah. So that should be tomorrow. It should be coming in, the kit. So what else? Well, I was looking, well, I've done my DNA before. I did the mitochondrial DNA from FamilTreeDNA, and then I did the autosomal. The autosomal considers both halves of your family, your mother and your father's side. The first one I did was just the mitochondrial, which is your mom's, what your mother passes on to both children, male and female children. The male can only pass on the Y chromosome to their sons. So, I was going to say now, yeah, it should be really interesting. The test, yeah, the mitochondrial is a I'm sorry, my mitochondrial DNA is an old African DNA, and it should be really interesting, really really interesting. Um, so the next thing I wanted to talk about as it pertains to DNA, oh yeah, I was just looking at my DNA from that other company, Family Tree DNA, and I was just scrolling through the surnames of the people. Interesting how oral history, where people may have been from. 10 years ago, sure. Oh, okay, Boogie. Okay, Boogie was just saying that they've seen my. I did a video some years ago sharing my DNA. Yeah, thank you for that info. Yeah, thank you for watching that. Yeah. Um, what's really interesting about these DNA things, you have these genetic cousins, and out of the whole thing, I know one person, and that person is related to me on my father's father's side, who I know virtually nothing about him. And so, because like these, using him as a marker, like my mother also did it. So I'm able to compare, uh, to find out how someone is related to me. So because my mother had it done, it's either they're related to my mom or not. And if they're not, then I know that they're related to me on my father's side. But is it your father's side or father's mother's side? And I am fortunate to know that there are two people, well, one person definitively, because I know who his grandmother is. The guy's grandmother is my father's half sister. So I know if they're related to them, then it's my father's father's side. And if they're not related to my mother or my father's father, then it's my father's mother's side. Yay! So I'm excited about that. So you're able to find out by deduction how they might be related to me. And so one particular person that their name just kind of like looked like you can scroll through it to see, you know, your genetic cousins. And one of them was it was a name, a surname, and I was just curious who this person is. Yeah, there were two. I wrote to several people today, and one of them was saying that um, like I told them that I did the mate like in the FamilTreeDNA they have this thing called the matrix, and you're able to compare um, the different genetic cousins if they're related to each other to try to ascertain whether it's the you know which side of the family, you know. So according to the matrix, this one particular person was related to me on uh, my my father's mother's side. Yeah, my father's mother's side, and she told me that um, she did it after me telling her that. Then she did on her side the matrix test, and she said, "Oh, yeah, I remember. Her mother's first name is a very popular name amongst the women on my father's mother's side. I mean, it's like everybody got that same name. The women. I'm over exaggerating, but a lot of them. And but they are living on the same island. They're living on St. Croix. So she did the matrix test for that particular you know for her mom and me, and we're not related. There's no relation. So she said it must be um, her her father's side, but she found out that her father is not her biological father, and so there you go. So it's sad that sometimes when people do, I mean, I don't know whether she found out that wasn't her father from the test or what, but she didn't share that. But it's kind of sad when people may think somebody might be, you know, a parent and finding out it's not their parent. It happens more, you know, it happens. It's not something that's uncommon. Things like this happen a lot. But yeah, I hope she finds out. I wrote back and I said, well, maybe through by doing these DNA tests, that someone a close relationship might pop up, and you might be able to pinpoint who the father is, or you know, or siblings of that parent. So I really wish her luck. Yeah, genetics is something. Some of the people you look at, you just you don't know. This one other family, a woman. The name sounds real different, and she's living in the states in I think Washington State. And I was just curious, like, boy, who is she? So I checked the matrix thing, and she's related to me on my father's mother's side. She's a fourth cousin and some. Well, fourth cousin and remote. And what's interesting, like all my grandparents were born in the Caribbean. So I wrote her. I said, you know, all my grandparents from the Caribbean. Are any of your family from the Caribbean? Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know how, you know, wow. Yeah, we don't look anything alike either. And I find it exciting that here you got a fourth cousin and remote. What is that equivalent to? If you say someone is a fourth cousin and remote, you know, I mean, that sounds like, wow. Let's see. So you have, let's see, you have, well, to be a first cousin would mean like You have a parent who has children, and the sibling of that parent, and those kids will be first cousins. So let's see, myself, then the parent, and then there'll be the, oh God, how do you figure that out? Your four cousins, that's like 6 or 7 generations, you think? There's four, and then the parent, and then grandparent. Yeah, I think the common denominator will be the grandparent that would unite the common ancestors would be the grandparent. I think. But yeah, yeah, all my most of them were all in the Caribbean, and yes, some of them came in to the Caribbean. What year was that? The late 1800s. So you had the old school ones, the ones that were there for generations, and then after slavery and everything, you did have new immigrants that came in, you know. So it should be really interesting how she could be related to me. Yeah, there are people who are cousins to me, but they don't have any, they may not have any information that of any island. So this is really interesting. And then you had some like one of my ancestors was from, well, oral history says that he was from Madeira. Madeira is an island. It is off the coast of Africa, but it is populated by. Oh, Kendrick, hey, my day was well. My day was well. Thank you for asking. Very busy day. My day was very busy. I walked the dogs, and then I had to. I'm giving away a lot of stuff. I want to start one room at a time. So I'm bringing it to the Salvation Army. I made like 5 trips to the Salvation. I'm dropping stuff off. My body is getting kind of sore right now. My legs got a lot of exercise today. I need to exercise. Yeah, I've been gaining a little weight in my tummy. Yeah, I don't like that. So yeah, my day went well, and I'm doing the African Heritage DNA thing. Hopefully tomorrow. I'm expecting the kid to come in tomorrow evening, and then I want to do the test and then mail it off right away. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just talking a little bit about about DNA and some of the what do you call it, cousins, distant cousins that I'm finding on. Yeah, I already did a family tree DNA many years ago, but in addition to this, I will be doing the African one. Um, yeah, I'm finding a lot. I have a lot of DNA cousins. Or what's going to say with one of them. Yeah, some of the DNA cousins. One has a like my great grandfather was from Portugal. He had come to the Caribbean in the um, I think around the 1870s. Yeah, after slavery in the Caribbean, um, they needed more help, and so they brought in people from a lot of people from Portugal and the islands that are run by Portugal and other Asians and things like that. And so they were extra help, and many of them um, had unions with the people on that island, and that particular ancestor um, got involved with my great grandmother. So yeah, so you find that certain um, ethnicities, the surnames, many of them are related. Many of them pop up, and they seem to be related to that branch of the family. We don't know definitively that he was from Madeira. The old oral history uh, said that he always talked about that particular island and how beautiful it was, but we don't know whether he's like born there. and if the family's background is from there. So I wrote to some of them. Some of them, some of the genetic cousins, when you click, like they might share different surnames, you know, to try to pinpoint, you know, how they might be related to someone else with the same last name, you know, first or last name. Um, so I hope some of them write, because I'm curious to know where this person actually was from. But he could have been from Madeira, and one of the other people had that that a particular branch was from Madeira. So so some of these things is what's the word? Agreeing with oral history that someone else, you know, to say where someone is from and then someone else has it also that they were from a particular place. So it helps pinpoint and determine the accuracy of oral history, you know. Um, so I thought that was interesting. Um, and you know what else is interesting? Oh, something else I thought was interesting. Um, Another distant cousin, um, they were from a different island, but they do have a link. Um, some of the surnames that they share certain ethnicities in the surname, even though they're from a different island. So I wrote them also today to get more information about their family. But what I find interesting in all this, that what I think what might happen, people might, well, um, I'm speculating, but it's you know, it might be just sharing that during, well, two things could be that during the slave trade, relatives were sent to different islands or you know, different continents in the Americas, or that uh, at some point they left the island where they're from and they just relocate, just like, you know, anyone. Let's say you're from the mainland. You know, someone might move, for let's say, from New Jersey to Florida. So same type of thing. People relocate. But the idea of someone, um, if someone, according to their knowledge, has always been there, you know, since the time of slavery, but finding genetic relatives on other parts of the Americas, it's really something else. The idea of a family member, you might have an auntie might have been sent to one place, a cousin in another place, a sister or brother, you know, all spread out. And it's like, oh my God, it's really, wow. And it really gets you thinking that xenophobia, you know, disliking people from other places, other countries. What, you know, you might hate somebody or not like someone from, you know, because of where they're from, and they might be a genetic cousin. Isn't that something? People of completely different ethnicity, different type of, you know, last name, you know, um, and you might be cousins. So I think doing DNA testing could help bridge a gap, you know, to help bring people together rather than separating. And that's the positive thing, at least for me. I like the idea of, wow, you got a distant cousin here that live on that island or that continent. It's really interesting. Or people that don't look anything like you. This one girl from Washington State, and she looks nothing like me. But excuse me, she's supposed to be related to me on my father's mother's side. A fourth and remote cousin, living all the way on the West Coast. I look at her, And she looks exactly like her mother. Yeah, she shared a picture. So I wrote her also. I'm just really curious who she is. Her name is just, I mean, I'm not gonna give the name, but it I don't see any, I don't know anyone by her last name. She had a very unique first name, and that's what got my curiosity. So wow, okay, who's this person and how they related to me? So I did the matrix testing, and she's not related to my mother, who has done the test. So it's my father's side, and then um, I shared. I tested a known relative that's on my father's side, not related. So it's my father's mother's side. Um, yeah, I'm excited. It's really something. Yeah, in the oral history of my family, oh, well, what a thing. Um, the children, I don't know whether, if this has happened in your family tree in the Caribbean, was something was going on. I mean, this was post-slavery, the island where she was from. This one ancestor, my grandmother and my great grandmother, they were born on the island of Antigua, and she had many. My great grandmother had many children, and oh, what was that? Um, the younger children were, at least one of them were sent off. Uh, Oral history, oral history was saying that the the child's grandmother took the kid and dropped the kid off in New York City, and then abandoned him. And he was stuck there for years, but he eventually was able to go back to the island. And he asked around town, it's a small island, and he was able to track down his biological mother. So um, it was a positive reunion, and so he had his younger siblings all get tattoos, so that anywhere they go in life, if they ever get missing, they'd be able to identify each other by the tattoo. So I thought that was an interesting story. But yeah, um, some people were being taken away, and it was a male child, and he was taken away by a relative. Really weird. Um, yeah, that weird stories like that. I mean, I think that's extreme to get. I mean, I got a tattoo, but not because of that. But I thought that was a very unique story. But things like that could affect people. It could affect how they feel about others, and can make them um, cautious in nature. You know, did anything like that happen to you guys who are listening out there? You might be from a tiny island, or a real rural area. Were people being taken away from your family? Just, I mean, I know it's a personal question, but it's a really interesting thing. Um, you can't really imagine that happening now, but to take away a child, and you never see him until he's a grown man. Um, so yeah, DNA is DNA. Modern DNA testing is really open up at times a can of worms to people who think that a person is a particular relative, and they're not. But I think, you know, my mother is my mother according to DNA, and I mean, I know that these are my parents, but I've met people who were adopted, and it hurt them emotionally. It um, it causes them a lot of emotional scars. So it's sad that something like that will make them feel that they take it to they, rather than they saying that someone wanted you, they receive it as someone rejected you. It's how you want to look at it, half full or half empty. If by saying uh, that someone gave you away, you know, if that's not empowering you, why even say that? Say someone wanted you, and maybe the universe, had to have you with that other person for a reason, but they needed the genetics of this other couple, and once that genetics union was made, and then they pass you on to someone who wanted to shape you and mold you and love you. Yeah, yeah, because it's eating some of these people alive. A lot of them could do drugs or abuse drugs because of it. Don't hurt your body. Excuse me. You don't have to hurt your body like that. I mean, what I'm seeing more and more as a result of my doing my meditation, this body is not our. I mean, it's just a vehicle. And they have us really get all excited about wanting to know our heritage. It is important, but it's not everything. And I think what's really important is why we chose the bodies that we have. Why did we come into this avatar? That is a question that we should be asking. Why are we here? And if this is our avatar, where is our true self? That's a question you should ask. So people who are, you know, if anybody who is watching is adopted, maybe you should do some of the meditation things that I'm doing and ask for answers. Maybe the universe might show you what happened. You focus intensely enough, you may have a breakthrough. Yeah, you have like you get real focused. You just relax your body and you just you know have your eyes closed and then focus very intently on a particular question, and you might get the answer, and you may even get an answer where your true self is. Yeah, this is just it's not this may not really be real. You might be somewhere else. You might be like in the movie The Matrix. I think that's what's really happening too, according to one of my meditations. Yeah, I saw a recurrent thing that seemed to um, resemble that thing that I saw on the movie The Matrix, the first one. Yeah, this could just be an avatar, or let's say the movie Avatar. I meant to say, okay, there's the Matrix, but there's also Avatar, the movie Avatar. It could be a blend of both. It seems like Hollywood knows all the secrets. I think Hollywood is the tool of the people who are really controlling this planet. How is that Hollywood gets all this information about these topics, and then it's like, hello, I think they're right on it. Yeah. Oh, the other thing I want to talk about, what I thought was really, really interesting. Thank you for giving me the thumbs up. What's really interesting, like I was just looking at some of the terminology, like in the with the DNA testing. If you got your mitochondrial DNA tested, what type? They call HVR1 and HVR2. HVR1 is more of a generalized one, and then the two is, I think, more specific. It's has more information, and this pertains to again the mitochondria. And when I was strolling down Google about this HVR1, as they call it, they were talking about, like, people ask, oh, what, about famous people, what their DNA is, and someone asked, oh, about um, the I have to be careful because I don't want certain words that you say might flag certain things, but remember in World War II, that particular leader in Germany, that guy, someone asked what his genetics was, his Y chromosome. And you know what it is? To my surprise, I am surprised, people. He has an African DNA. I kid you not. Yeah, let me see if I can find it here. Let me get that. Have the mouse here. Let me show you. Yeah, it just blew my mind. I didn't expect to see that. They have someone to Mary Magdalene. Where did it go? Okay. Hoping to find it now. Where did it go? Viking. Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you because I'm not. I want you to know I'm not just making it up. Oops, sorry. Okay. DNA haplogroups. Okay, for a male, a haplogroup is pertaining to the Y chromosome. Someone asked a question, and this is the answer. According to an article in a 2010 NAC magazine, that person's name, okay, I'm sure most of you know of that person, okay? He was a dictator of Germany during this period in time. Okay, could have possibly belonged to Y-DNA haplogroup EM35, also known as E1B1B1, a haplogroup that is thought to have originated near the Horn of Africa, about 22,400 years PB. Isn't that interesting? Could you believe it? Could you believe that? Wow. That is interesting. Yeah, let me turn on the light. It's getting dark in here. Sorry about that. It was getting darker and darker in this room. Yeah, so isn't that interesting, people? Here, the leader of that country, and he's all about, the Aryan race. So that was always about your father's people, what we call the fatherland. I think he also said that, the term, the fatherland. Well, his fatherland is Africa land. Could you believe that? Could you believe that, people? Wow. That is something else. How could that be? Well, it just goes to show you that people migrate, and we may have, that continuity. Who is your father's father's father? You know, um, but people relocate. People might originate in one place. Yeah, that boogie. That surprised me. I'm just assuming it's going to be some European. But he's an African. I mean, what is this really saying about why would they, like, I would figure someone like him, they would want to really know who your family tree. But they did say, I know mixed 26 nationalities. I'm not sure that means, Kendrick, that you're saying that you have 26 nationalities? Kendra, I just want to make sure that I understand what you're saying. Yeah, so he's not even related to a Viking or anything like that. Yeah, he's actually an Austrian. He's from Austria. So people locate, people migrate. And back in those days, it wasn't about so-called, oops, sorry, I have 20% left on my phone. My phone just popped up a message that the power is getting lower. Yeah, let's see. Oh, oh, this one. Okay, I just plugged it in. Yay! So, oops. Yeah, so it's really interesting that you never know who you're looking at, or people only know what they're told about themselves. And here's someone in history uh, could be so much about. I mean, he was really in the occult, and they had was that he had this uh, quiet period in his life. Where was he at certain ages? Um, and it did say that what's that? His grandmother was Jewish. You know, um, yeah. His I think it was father's his father's. Oh, how'd it go? I don't want to give wrong information, but one of his grandparents. Oh, see again, your Jewishness is passed on to from mother to child in modern day Judaism. For whatever reason, even though, like in the Bible, the 12 tribes was not based on female, it was based on the guys, because they only had two sisters. So the line was based on the 12 sons. But why they use them with modern Judaism based on who your mother is? See, there's a reason for that, and I don't know what it is. Um, but it's really interesting. He does have Jewish ancestry, that particular leader. I mean, it doesn't matter what you are, but it's just interesting with what happened in history that people could be part of something, but they are socially removed from that group. You're so removed emotionally. You have a fixed identity with somewhere else. Okay. Yeah, and they said that he really didn't die. Like there are channels on YouTube that discuss about that particular man, and you have people who like to study about World War II, and some people who might have served in the military, and then they're like, let's say their parents talk to them about their time in the military, and they have like a network, and they discuss certain things about certain times in history, and they said that he did not die in any bunker. That particular guy, that he escaped, and he lived in South America, and that he came to the U.S. for medical treatment. It's really weird. Here you have a well-known person, and he's able to. I mean, it just goes to show you that they wanted him alive. They wanted that man alive, and the U.S. was harboring him. We're part of it. It's really weird. really weird. Something about his genetics, something about him, they just wanted to protect. Yeah, it's just, I guess, a cultic history, and they're making maybe there's something to his bloodline being from considered from the Horn of Africa. It's a very, I mean, I think it's a very old, they said like humanity began around there. You know, the Horn of, like around Kenya, around there, they said that humanity started from there. I don't know. I don't know. So, any of you, have any of you done your DNA? And if so, any surprises? Hey, how you doing? Johnson, how you doing? And thank you for the compliment. I am tired today. I did a lot of walking around. I need all the compliments I can get right now. So I am tired. So yeah, I'm doing okay, guys and gals. I'm doing fine. But yeah, what any of you have done your DNA, and what did you find? Did you find any distant cousins? Some of them that you might know of, or you know, yeah, your DNA is something else. But again, doing these meditations and having these visions and stuff, that our body is just a vehicle. It's an important vehicle to navigate here, but we're beyond the body. It is your mind, your spirit that is really, really of interest. I mean, could you imagine, you know, to travel, your mind going to different places, and you know what I've been sharing with you guys. I mean, I wish I understood exactly what was going on. Um, I've seen people who I don't know. Sometimes it looks like I'm looking at a monitor. Like one of them, I saw this man and woman at a park. I'm like, it looks like I'm looking from above, like in a building, and they're down below in a like a park, and they're looking. It was a lady and a little child. I assume mom and child, and they're looking at some type of monument. Some it was like a what do you call it? Like a stone, and then closer to me was a heavyset guy, and I guess he's calling her, and then she and the kid walked towards him, and then they both left together and passed by me, as if it's like a security camera, and then you can't see them anymore because whatever was the camera that was on them that I'm looking at. So it's like wondering, how could that happen? Am I having a parallel life somewhere else? And I'm work at a park or something. I don't know. I saw it was clear as clear could be. Yeah, the things that I'm seeing, people, you should all try it. Try it. I mean, you don't need crystals, you don't need anything, and you know, when you get up in the morning, when you awaken in the morning, just lie there, do not open your eyes, and just as if you're looking at behind your eyelid, just look straight ahead, you know, and then boom, you see something. But I never get any audio. I've never gotten audio yet. I don't know how to do that. And if anyone knows how to get audio with the video, with the visual that you're seeing, please let me know. That would really be interesting. Yeah, yeah. Let me know, anybody, if you know how to get to hear audio during a meditation session. That has not happened to me yet. I don't know how. See, I want to learn how to see more. Because some of the things, it's like it zooms in. like I have a camera, and it zooms right in, and it's hard to see, I can't see things in its context. So where am I in relationship to that thing that I'm looking at? Or where is this place? You know? So it seems like this person that is seeing these things, that they like nature. Yeah, I've seen birds. I saw like a flock of these birds. They were white birds, and it had like a long, thin body. Okay, yeah, it was a long, thin body and broad wings. Not it's not a pelican or anything like that. It had a long, pointy beak. Maybe the beak might have been like about like that long, and it was real narrow and pointy, and it just had a streamlined body, real like it seemed like almost like that big. It just gave the impression that it was like that diameter, this part. And I'm not doing the 666. Please don't say that I'm flashing out the 666. I just say it's like about this about that type of the body was about that diameter. At least how it looked in the vision. It was really pretty. Had long wings. So it seemed it's bigger than a dove. Um, it just had a long, sleek body, and it was white in color. So anyone finds anything on the internet, a skinny, long bird with broad wings. It was a flock of them that I saw. It was amazing. And then the bird that I saw, like the size of a sparrow, and it had a light turquoise blue neck. So if anyone finds that, something like that, let me know, because I want to know what countries these birds are at, so it helps me pinpoint where I'm having the visions. I think it's Africa, and that's also why I want to go visit. I feel that it's my calling to go to these places. I mean, why would I even have visions about them? Meditation visions with this. If I'm not um, tied to these places, so very exciting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Share me about your DNA thing. Is it something that you want to do, or have you already done it? Do you think it just causes more problems doing, these DNA tests? You know. So I can't think of anything else. But I had fun doing this live stream. Um, yeah, I should go search on the internet for those birds. You know. Yeah, I'm very excited. Very excited. Yeah, people. This is a big world out there, and I know that all those at time, including myself, can get all caught up with the drama that's happened on this planet. But the world is bigger than these problems, and I really think that this is all this is a simulation. I think there's multiple realities happening all simultaneously. Yeah, that's what I believe. So I just have to keep reminding myself that, so that I don't get so overwhelmed with society right now. It's just going haywire, you know. I can't think of anything else, and so if anybody have any questions for me. Oh, let's see. Okay, Johnson, was it like a Sankofa bird? With, be, okay, yeah, I know Sankofa means return. Get in Dr. George. Okay, no, it was not like that. No, thank you for asking that question. Yeah, it wasn't Sankofa bird. No. Um, let's see. Boogie says, enjoy being able to catch your live this evening. Usually I miss your lines and have to rewatch them. Oh, thank you for watching. Yeah, most of the time I don't do it at this time, but sometimes just feel like doing one. I know most of my videos I do early morning. Yeah, I usually do them like from like 3 o'clock in the morning to like 6 o'clock. That's when I wake up and my mind is relaxed and everything. So I say, hey, I might as well do a live video. So that's why I usually do it. Yeah, that's all. Yeah. So I usually do it early morning. This is New York City. So right now it's 8:44 p.m. So you can gauge, what time I might do my video. I If I do it, I usually do it early morning. But sometimes I feel a mood to do this in the late afternoon. You know, I just felt led to do the video, especially reading, about that particular German leader from World War II that has an African Y chromosome, and yet he was all about the Aryan race. And that's not. What's it saying? This just opens up more. I'm sure they must have had him do DNA. He would have had to, because people want to know what they want to know. Yes. Yeah, go figure. Go figure. So yes, I'll keep you guys posted about the DNA test. Maybe when I get the kit, I'll show you the box and everything. We'll see. We'll see how I do it. Well, I can't wait for the kit to come in tomorrow. It's supposed to be arriving tomorrow evening. And it's the African Heritage DNA test kit that will supposed to let me know I'm doing the mitochondrial one, so that's your mother's line, to find out what tribe, what country and what tribe it is associated with. I think it's going to be associated with I don't know, but I think it'll be Gabon, because when I first did the mitochondrial thing in 2009, they talk about that. I mean, it's very common in West Africa, but the larger concentration is found in Gabon. So we'll see. We'll see. I could be totally wrong, or it could be found in, when they give the test. Sometimes some people are. It's found in more than one location, and then they would give those locations. Let me ask you: do you have kids? No, I do not have any kids. No, no kids. But I'm doing this for me because the more you learn about yourself, I just have a lot of questions about myself, and sometimes in knowing about your genetic. I mean, I know my parents are my parents. I don't mean, I don't have questions about that. But I'm just curious about myself. Yeah, I always used to avoid myself, but now I'm embracing myself. And I think everyone should embrace themselves, because it's only one you. And so celebrate. Celebrate who you are. There's no perfect person. And enjoy what you do have. You have yourself, people. And because you have yourself, you're special. You are a special person. So find out as much about yourself, and ask questions about yourself. And try the meditation. You may get an answer that you may not expect. Okay? Yeah. So thank you again for listening, and I'm not sure when my next live stream will be, but you know me, I'm very spontaneous. I enjoy doing the live streaming. I don't have to do the editing. I have problems with my neck. I get pain in the neck. That's why I stopped doing the editing. So I like the live stream so I could just talk and just, I don't want to be bothered with the editing, things like that. I just want to get the content out and share my thoughts with people, and what it looks like, it is, you know. So thank you again, and yeah, you can share your stories about your DNA, or your questions about DNA, and each one teach one, okay? Each one teach one, and stay hydrated. It's still warm out there, um, and take care of yourself. Thank you again for sharing, you all, and until next time, okay? Thank you again. This is Spirit Journey signing off. Bye bye.